What's going on? Not much. Going for those London lows, like I just said.
To my screen. I don't even know.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So that was easy. That was easy. It's like a Staples easy button right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did you sell that down there?
No, I logged on a little bit later. Well, it was on, but I wasn't like focused on trading. I'm still kind of waking up today.
Yeah, no, I totally feel you on that. I'm like still sick, man. I'm like
Yeah.
I've
Just
been coughing all night. Fucking annoying. But last night was good, and I took profits up here on my other account though, not the teacher's account, but
yeah.
letting CFD run that whole thing was pretty sick. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Damn.
But the only reason why I knew that this was pretty much one-sided and done, right? You know
Mhm.
how a lot of times we talk about, hold on one sec, let me not fuck this up. I always forget, right? So there we go. OBS, cool. All right. And okay, yeah, that's fine. As long as it tests the audio, and that's there we go. Nice. Now, the reason why today I woke up and wanted to use the ICT toolkit is because weekly profile itself, and we understand that we talked about a macro target, and we got that.
Mhm.
So where is let's see. All right, cool. All right, what's up, y'all? So long story
Yay.
short, we're talking about objectives. All right. Now, what I talked about earlier to a lot of people is that when you're on your daily chart, and we'll bring it down in a moment to pop in on the day, but the biggest thing, right, is really deciding like what the hell is price really doing? So when you're like in this area here, whether it's something like this, and you're like, wow, huge ass candles out of nowhere. No, that's definitely not even close to nowhere. And what we're talking about is all these little consolidated candles are telling you something. No, you don't have to come on every single day and focus on a 15 to 5 minute chart and down and have to give yourself a guessing game every time. You don't have to. When you could have literally just came onto a daily chart and said, where the fuck is liquidity? Right there. Now, mind you, I'm talking about this long candle here, Thursday. Wednesday, you are bearish. Thursday, you are bullish. And where the hell is it going? And when you're looking at something like this, I can even like back it up a second because it's 9:37. I need something at 9:46 or 47. I'm not concerned about it yet. No, watch this. The London lows, by the way, is what I'm thinking about for here. But until we get there, this right here is my whole point. A lot of people are so focused that when you come onto the chart in the morning, I understand that London high, London low, Asia high, Asia low is just very easy. I get that. But it is not the only thing in the fucking market. And it's not the only way the algorithm is going to perform. When you have other objectives, how we talked about these last few days, and I did not know this is why I sound like this right now. I did not know. Oh, that's water. Hmm. Let's drink water. Mhm. Oh, it feels amazing. Yeah, that. I did not know. My bad. A lot of people weren't actually checking the daily chart, or if they were, they weren't really using it. It's like, what does that mean? How do you check something and not even use it, right? The problem is, yes, you can see the tops and bottoms of liquidity, but when you're looking at stuff like this and you start playing it out, people are still in here saying, yo, I don't know what the fuck price is doing. And I'm like, well, how? I'm not really understanding like what you fully mean about like where you're confused at. And so when I talk to these poor people about like where liquidity is, and we can talk about it all day, and they can give me the answer. And I'm like, yo, yes, you're right. Like, doesn't it make sense that there's nothing else down here? Maybe an open imbalance? And everyone's like, yo, well, is it going to go down more? Like, I think we're bearish still. The retracement was really good, but I think we're sell side. Until I brought up the fair value gap. We know that. It's clear. But when we look at this old high here and this fair value gap, now mind you, even if you just saw this like a few days ago, or if you saw it yesterday or today, doesn't matter. What I want you to take away from this, understand when you're looking at something is when it has objectives. So if this is going lower, there's a reason for it. But when you see a strong retracement like this upward, doesn't really get the fair value gap the first time. We get close, but no dice. All this retracement down and back up. Yes, you can use the information on your daily to intraday trade. You're not forced into a certain style of trading. But the most important point is in this area, and you see how, now watch, we get down to a lower time frame. Mind you, whole time, it's done nothing different. Every time it pops down, everyone's like, yo, well, should we be selling it? Should we be buying it? And I'm like, you know my answer to that every time. Depends on your objective, personal objective. If we know that the algorithm's perspective is to go upward to reach that fair value gap on the daily, right? And you saw that on Monday. Every single time it pops down, you know that this is a scalp or a intermediate short-term, intermediate or short-term day trade. But what you need to do, emphasis on this, right? Watch. If this is so bullish, how we're talking about it,
Did I?
no, you
Okay.
can't start that here randomly. It's not going to work. You can't just start buying shit and think it's just going to get you in there without drawdown. You need to be in an area or time and place where it works for you. If you're saying that you have time during New York session and you trade one day at a time, yes, you're going to be met with buying here. If you trade intraday, you can't buy this shit. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care. It's not going to work. You're going to lose money. Why? Because you're so focused on one objective instead of pairing yours with the algorithm. Tuesday, we understand, was a manipulation profile. Sure. But the problem, or my bad, XAM. So this was A, accumulation, and then manipulation. But the problem, though, when someone has an idea, right, they're so focused on Asia low, Asia high, London low, London high, that you can't see the real objective. So this does look scary, but a lot of people didn't really trust to sell all the way down and got out too early here. Only because I talked about the higher objective, about the daily fair value gap. And so immediately everyone's like, oh, well, damn, I guess I should just close my trade then. And you missed the biggest fucking candle. And the only reason why I laugh about that, though, is again, it's just you're learning. You need to learn. These are singular objectives. So when we talk about things in the marketplace, that's why I say it's important to have your own plan and understand when that plan needs to be initiated. If you're trading intraday, right? and you're telling me, yo, I was up at 8 to 11, which is clearly our right. Going to do small. Oops, we need the 15. All right, 44. We got 2 minutes left. All right. Now, it should be exactly where I'm expecting it when we get back to current price action. I'm interested to see how close or far we are from London low. Someone else could probably look at it and let me know if we're already there or not. Now, biggest idea is this. Ready? Peyton Manning, fourth quarter. This right here was a previous day turtle soup. And again, like I said, not everybody trusted the idea because of all this consolidation up here. And even though the idea was a singular trade idea, Tuesday is over Monday at a kill zone, optimal trade entry, which is nothing but a time-based retracement. It goes up for a second, comes down. 1 minute. Now watch. We understand that Asia, yes, it is a nice place to aim at. We get that. It's really nice a lot of time. But what I don't want you to do is say, you know what? Well, Jay told me that it might be bullish, but this day was so bearish, he has to be wrong. Okay. So you don't take profits down here. You hold it. You hold it. You come in the next day trying to sell and do the same fucking thing. It doesn't work. Now, in this area, a lot of people got chopped up. But the whole objective the entire time, like I said, is if it's the daily imbalance that price wants to get
I haven't
to.
used Zeus either.
Si yo acá me pongo a meter cortos y cortos y cortos y
No,
yo
yeah,
lo
I
que estoy
think
esperando es que
My bad. If
llegue
you can mute that, that would be dope.
si alguien
Oracle
reacciona
SQL or
en
SQL Server?
compras y seguir la compra, traders. Pero si yo me pongo a vender aquí, entonces
My
ya
guy,
va
if
a
you can
entrar
mute your
el
mic,
saque.
that'd be really great.
So I might not
¿Me
anymore.
entienden? A menos de que yo diga, no, Jesús, es que yo vi un falso rompimiento, se pone bien, listo, está bien tu análisis.
Hold on 1 second. Daniel, you gotta mute your mic, my guy. Yeah, yeah. All right. So,
Sí.
there we go. Did it for you. All right. Okay. Much better. So, we're looking at, damn, I hate that. Oh, broke my train of thought.
Okay.
1 sec. Yes, I remember. All right. That's how locked in you have to be in trading. So where I damn near forgot my thoughts because I was that fucking distracted for just 1 second. Jesus. All right. So we're looking at the previous day's turtle soup, and as to why this is a singular trade idea, although I talked about the real objective of the asset. The daily imbalance is the real winner here. Every single time it goes down, you need to understand that this is not the real direction. This is a singular trade. Same thing with this one. So every single time you're met with these lower objectives, I don't give a fuck how many times it's touched.
Sure.
You gotta understand where you're on the way to. All this is not going to be scary, and you're not going to feel like you're dependent on this whack price action to do anything. All you know is that above you, your target is going to be given to you from a kill zone. That's why when you look at this down here, or even the PM one, these are both A+ setups. Now, mind you, there's no more time left in the day for this one, but this right here is very, 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 very easy. You're underneath Asia already. The full draw of liquidity is above you. So anytime you actually get a buy side chance to actually participate, you want to look for adding more size to your buys because you understand what direction the marketplace is favoring. Now, watch this. Yep, and we got that. Exactly where I expected it. Now, how many people took that sell down there?
Me.
My guy.
Someone just called me for work, so I missed it.
Oh man, that's the worst. Now, what I'm talking about, why I had a few moments to actually do something else before we came here, is the time. All right. Now, this was super easy, right? This was really easy. Now, the reason why it's easy, let's label it out. Daily imbalance was what color? It was a sell side one, right? Sell side imbalance.
Yep.
Like a really fucking big one, obviously. You have a session turtle here. So like price goes up, creates this old high, right? Now this is actually a London high, right? So that's how you get a classic. And I'm glad you guys kept it simple today because that was my whole thing. Someone last night was like, hey, why don't we? And I mean, like, I appreciate like really complex ideas. I get that. But when someone is overcomplicating it without realizing it, I like to do just this one thing. You understand how turtles work, and this is a session version of it. Regardless of all of this during Asia, right? And I'm glad that you guys are trading downward because the liquidity offered to you was in London. But even though Asia didn't really have a liquidity pool, right? Now, without me saying it, where are you going to aim at? Like, what else is down here that you can aim at? Again, structure based. Now, I'm not talking about go back levels. What is down here that we can aim at?
PM session lows and like that Asia low.
No, I'm not
So I'm
talking
in
about
the gym.
those. Not those. What else are we aimed at? Not liquidity based. Or not externally based in liquidity. Say it that way.
There's
Not
there's
externally.
imbalances in that range
Thank
right there.
you. Thank you. Imbalances. People always forget just because a fair value gap is a good way to actually enter price. Now, I'm on the 30-minute chart, so these are real small. But for example, look how many imbalances are fucking open in this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Well, this one's taken now, but you have literally 1, 2, 3, 4 of these left. Now, you made it to a really good one. If you're in this thing, I'd probably take one partial here. Now, hold on, watch. That's hilarious, isn't it? How did I know where you're at a major level? I'll type it out. Like I said, I wanted it at between 946 or 947, but obviously by 950 something, we're going to make it there. Now, my emphasis is the low of the dealing range. Okay. Now, when you're coming down like this, even if I didn't use a dealing range, I don't have to use it all the fucking time. It's only a matter of time before we made it to a major fucking level. And why did I tell you to take a partial? It's going to retrace from imbalance. It does that sometimes, yeah. And it's not a small retracement, is why I told you to take a partial. Now, it could be going lower. It should be going lower. But the problem is, we met our first objective for today. I need you to understand that. All right? We met our first objective. Now, if you're in sales, I'm not saying you got to close the entire thing right this second. But what I'm saying is, you want to make sure you're paying yourself. If you're in from above these highs here and you got 2 and 3 contracts, yes, I'm taking one here. Yes, I'm taking one here, and I'm going to leave the runner. I got 1 out of 3 left if I were to take this trade. Not saying you need 3, but I'm saying you want to come in. If you find an A plus setup like this, how do we know it's A plus? Look at the time. time kill zone. Now it's 9:53, right? Now watch. London was taken by New York. Look at the consistency of the candles. All right. Now watch. Like I said, it's going to retrace, but I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you that the move was fully done yet. But that's why you want to be more in control of your trading. Like I said, small retracement. It's going to give you trend line liquidity at the bottom of it. Now, we're not really giving a fuck about this because we're already at a low. But what I do give a fuck about is why I asked this question earlier. Are we still bullish or are we bearish, and why? Brings me back to my original question. Now, this was trade number 1 of day. Do we think it needs to offer the same direction all day? Or is this just a micro objective on the way to something else? And I'm not baiting you this time. This is actually me asking you an actual question. I'm not like giving you a rhetorical question how I normally do.
I mean, so since midnight we've just been straight up. So we, just could be just creating that upper wick on the day, that protraction, and now starting to come down for the sell side expansion.
Yeah, I thought protection as well.
Ooh, ha ha ha. No, I like that. Now, this is dope because how we're really going to verify that again is with time. So, if we're looking at this as a daily candle, right? Will this make sense? Like, obviously, it's bullish so far. But when we're looking at midnight here, algorithm resets, right? For anybody who's new, my yellow line here is just straight like the midnight line, all right? So it extends it outward like this so that, now I'm glad you guys actually hit this with a classic. You want to be a buyer under 12 a.m. when you're bullish. When you're bearish like this, you want to sell above 12. Now, I'm going to just give that again one more time. Only because in this scenario, someone else will ask me, well, how does that fucking work if it's so fucking bullish? Now, watch. You can actually do 2 things with this in one. Do you see the small area down here? Yeah?
Yeah.
Looks annoying as shit. Looks like nothing really if you don't really look at it. But my point is, and there you go, right?
That's
Now,
midnight, right?
this is midnight, yeah. But the point is, if you actually look real close, it told you exactly what the fuck it was going to do. And this is why, again, bro, I mean, me personally, this only because it comes from experience. I understand when I ask people about like when they're actually free during the day or what their actual schedule is and how I'm trying to get you to tie that into your own trading. I feel like people got to be open-minded because I'm not saying you can't trade the same time every day because I do that. But what I'm looking for, if I get a variable at a certain time of the day, for example, I'm talking about this Asia session, right? Crazy big, crazy big. But the problem is I still have to come in with some sort of logic that I know helps me pair myself with the algorithm. Well, that sounded fancy. Watch this. 15-minute chart. It looks to us right here in this white box. It literally looks like nothing but just a, up run, nothing to really pay attention to. But all this little consolidation to this up run, and then the small little white candle retracement here. Oh yeah, that's telling us something. Now, we know we need to get down to that small time frame because we're not going to be able to get down there on a 15 and see exactly what we needed. Look at this. If we're talking about the base concept, you want to be a buyer under 12, seller above 12. And I'm talking about in a kill zone though. So like, if you're looking for the first protraction of the day, emphasis on more than one. The first one is at midnight. Notice how midnight forms here, and then you have a bunch of candles just go up and underneath it one more time. Oh, this small run underneath midnight, fair value gap, blast off. That's your first protraction phase. Now, bringing that same idea to up here. And you're right. This is a protraction phase. We are above midnight as a whole, as a macro. This is very small and tiny. It's fractal. Fractal protraction phase to go down to then spring up. Sure. Now, as we go from Asia into London kill zone and New York kill zone, once you get to these two kill zones, yes, it can activate the same effect. This is nothing but a what? What's this? What do you think the daily candle looks like now?
It's got an upper wick.
Upper wick. Huge upper wick, right? Now, the problem, though, is what I was saying before. The first trade of the day support that we saw was one trade idea, one objective. We need to figure out if this up run is fully done. Okay? Yes, we are here inside this gap. I'm going to change colors because fuck that. That's cool. Now, that's what I was saying. It's logical to think about us going back down from this fair value gap. Now, if we do that, we need to figure out where it's going to head. Or if it needs to go back down in the first place. Or are we thinking of this one? What do we think? And again, this is Thursday, Friday, and then we have another, we're basically starting a whole nother quarter soon. So we need to figure out if it's because Q3 distributes, right? Q4 does what? We need to figure out. Was Q3 really bullish or bearish? I've asked that question before, but I want to ask again.
Q3
It started in
was
July. Pretty fucking bearish.
I guess if it starts in July, yeah.
So for anybody new, Q3 starts in July and it's 3 months long. So, and we're almost done this, right? And so we're going to do September. Oh yeah, it started on a second of the month, I believe. Wait, oh no, that was a holiday, so it did start on yeah. There's no Monday there. Yep. So, yeah, I'm looking for. Okay, so we do have a October 1st trading day. All right, cool. So that's our question. So Q3 was like, whoa. I feel like it was more sell side than bullish, but wow, actually, yeah. Think about this. What do you think? The range on the sell side was way bigger than even the last like 2 months in terms of size. This was way, way smaller. Damn. Okay, so that's about 12,000, right? And then that was a little more than that. If I had to really classify it, I would say Q3 was pretty fucking bearish. Oh, yeah, yep. Yeah, Q3 was really fucking bearish. With a retracement, though. But the retracement never actually took out the high of this either. So in my mind, I feel as though, yeah, we need to decide if Q4 is going to be a continue or reverse, and we need to figure it out fast. That's what we need to know. I feel as though since it's on like a bigger time frame, how quickly can we verify that? What do you guys think? Can we do it first month, or do we need like a little closer into like November-ish? If Q4 is like October, November, and December, I feel like we're gonna know pretty fucking quickly.
You could probably get it within the first few days, right?
I would like to see it that way.
If like,
It depends on like what objectives are still with us. For
Uh,
example, yeah, go for it.
October 1st is a good idea. 10 plus 1, order block.
Say it again.
yeah, that's what I kind of was thinking. He was saying 10 plus 1. So October 1st is an 11 order block, or like the 3rd could be a rejection block.
Oh, that's dope. That is very dope. Okay. And so, yep, 7 would be like okay, 8, 9, 10 order block. Yeah, 10 plus 1, 11. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Huh. That'd be dope to see if we could find like a big ass order block. That'd be dope. Now, I'm going to save this for a chat. And so I'll post that for you guys right now. What I want to do is from all this talk now, let's get back down to the lower. Now, you guys can let me know. You guys still holding on to the sell move, the first one, or we going for longer time duration? 10 o'clock
I'm
now.
I'm liking the holding it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Now, I
looking
was
at
going to
what
say,
this,
bring
what
it
we
back
do at this
ease.
high.
Me too.
When you're looking at like targeting these imbalances on the way down, like there's this whole Asia is essentially one big imbalance.
I was just going to say
So
that.
like, how do
So
you
we need to
know where
find.
to target? Are you just kind of peeling a contract off at once it fills in one, then letting it go to see if it fills in the next one?
Now, you want to come up to a higher time frame and see like how big they really are. Now, I like the 4 and 1 hour ones. Typically, 4 hours dope because the ones I like to aim at for imbalances need to be a little bigger. So I would like to see. Now, this is like our lowest one that we could possibly aim at in this area, right? There's nothing really super down there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, there's this one too, but again, it's just kind of like the same process of what's the word I'm looking for? You know how when you find a higher time frame imbalance and then you could refine it to a lower one. I'm doing the opposite here. So when I find a lower one, I'd rather go and find what it's a part of that's way bigger. So if it leads me into just these two 4 hour ones, I'm cool with that. So that way I can come down and have way less anxiety when I'm trying to figure out what's what. And like you said, this could be a huge one. So now we got to that first one. I also pointed out the 1 hour one here. That's why I was so specific about saying PD arrays are time frame specific. And that's why this is one objective to me versus this whole fair value gap and this one. Now, again, I also talked about on the hour, there's only 1, 2, 3 of these left. I don't really give a fuck about this. This is not saying only because it's far, but I don't really give a fuck about this. I give more of a fuck about how much time we have left. So if it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I know that normally if I'm in at 8, I can hold this thing till 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock. It's a Thursday reversal profile. So the sell side does make sense for it to stick. The only thing we have to, again, worry about is micro objectives. So with this being you see how it does this little weird, you guys probably saw it, and I didn't let you watch it on my screen, but watch this. I can go back and find it even if I'm not looking at it. I'm on the hour, so I should be able to find it on 5:15. No. 5. Oh, yeah. Yep. There it is. I see it. There should be an imbalance somewhere in here. Yep. You see how price stopped for a second? It's going to come down, give you sell side liquidity. Now again, Peyton Manning, fourth quarter, right? It's going to come down, give you sell side liquidity. Watch me just for a second. Just listen. When price is tracing down like this, right? We talked about reversals happening. Okay. It engineers sell side liquidity. Now it goes up again. Order block, back down. Doesn't really attack it though. Doesn't really make equal lows, but it's not speedy enough. It's not attacking enough of this low. I need to see this low like demolished. And I don't see that yet. So when we get this other retracement up, then you're met with a gap. Gap gets filled. Now watch. Everybody always gets a little anxious in this area only because they're trying to figure out if it's going lower or if this objective is done. Should I just fully be done here? Peel things off slowly. This is a distribution week, way different from your manipulation week. This is a lot easier to deal with, isn't it? The retracements has not been annoying as fuck, not every 5 minutes, but you get a retracement. Now, my point, when you see all these connect like this, and again, the DOL is no different. And like I said, look at the price action. It's falling. It's not just going to randomly fucking retrace because you have imbalances, right? Everyone's thinking that the fair value gaps are going to drive it up again. Not going to do that. Now, we have one targeted already. It's down to time to see if we can get down to this other one. Now, watch this, though. Now we bring out gold back levels. Now, looking at the 243 and the 81. All right, ready? I got plenty of time. Dope. Great session, by the way. Watch this. All right. I'm watching this low, all right? Because this is a shared low. And it's a big one. 2,000, what is that? 20,412. You see how it's bouncing off the shared high, shared low? So anybody who didn't get an entry, this could either produce a scalp for you, or it could produce a confirmation of the sell side that we're basically already trading. Now, we're looking for the vibe here right off this low. So I had to delete that. But again, when you're watching this, right? All the narrative here, yes, it stops for a second. It's not going to ignore the low of your dealing range. Now, we're inside of that first imbalance. I want to see it personally lower. Me personally. But if all these dealing ranges are, you know, sharing lows and highs, we don't have to fucking guess. Just let the chart tell us what it wants to fucking do. And also, if you notice, all right, hold on, it has to switch up again. Watch. When it does it again, I'll show you. Thank you. That was your. Just going to do it again, but not fast enough, so I gotta do it myself. Right there. See how your EQ was hit? Now, like I said, it's going to go up again, but the problem is, it's going to annoy me. Now, this was your EQ level, right? And you came down. Now, at this high, right? There we go. Like I said, it's going to do it again. There we go. I want to see if this is power through liquidity or if we need to keep this as a high of the day to then trade down. Also, let's meet again in 5. Okay? Let's meet again in about 5 minutes. Let's see if we can find another door in this thing. Or if we're just pretty much holding on for this expansion. But so far, you guys are doing a bang-up job today. I'm hyped that nobody's like uber confused about literally just trading a reversal. Does that make sense?
Indeed.
Dope. Okay. I've been rolling this blunt this entire time. And I still have not sparked it.
I think I'm about to make some breakfast vampiros and then smoke a blunt.
Yeah, we'll meet back in 5. I'll see you guys in a second, okay? Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was great. It should be, in my opinion, it should be this little imbalance here. So what I like.
Yeah.
This one I like.
Yeah, it took, we just filled I think it was a 2 hour. And we're right at midnight, so that's also why I was. And it was at equilibrium of the 81. So there was a lot of like, okay, this could this could bounce here.
There's a lot going on. So, yeah, I'm trying to see if we can now let's narrate down to this low here. So, what's up, y'all? All right, so we're looking at gold back levels and whatnot. Now, we talked on this. We talked about why price came down. We talked about why I didn't expect it to just bounce off the high. Now, we looked at this as not just a turtle, but we said Thursday reversal, and we needed to figure out, in terms of micro objectives, where is this thing going to fucking land? Now, I want you to notice something, all right? Notice the vibe. I keep saying that word for a reason, all right? I didn't say exact candle. I said vibe. The candles here are non-lethargic. They're pushing. There you go. It's going to my imbalance. And it's a liquidity void level, so what do you think is gonna be non-lethargic? And we just tapped it.
Yeah,
So
it should push right through it.
it should start to push it at least to this next gold back level here.
Yeah.
Now again, 71, 71, whatever. Now, more importantly though, is I want you to see how like the actual candles are formed. Right on your high, it doesn't give even like a retracement more than once back to your EXT level. It completely dumps. When you get back to this high, remember how we were kind of like finicky off this high? And I said, yo, no, we're downside. We're coming down. But I said to watch for the vibe here. And here you go. And completed. Aha. Dope. Let's get it. This here. There we go. So we reached our next objective. What do you guys think? We got another one down, or is that a place to take a runner? What do you think?
I think we.
Should go lower?
Yeah, I'm thinking we at least fill that 4-hour imbalance. We're so close to that 81 low already. I feel like we complete that.
81 low is good. 81 low is good.
You think peel it off
really
there,
good.
like take off the trade there, or is that what you would be doing? Or do you still?
You have a runner?
I have a runner. I already took 2 off, so I just have a runner left.
I would say 2 things. You can decide. Like obviously the low is what it wants to refer to, but give yourself like however you're much in profit. Take a number in your head and say,
I won't let it go back
to. I like this number.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? A lot of times, if I'm up like 2,500, I'll tell myself like, okay, I'm not like overly hyper fixated that it's at 25. I'm more focused that we got past 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in my mind, it could do, not saying do whatever the fuck, but it doesn't have to bother me emotionally in this area. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like, oh shit, well, like now I'm anxious because I don't know if it wants to EQ again. I don't know if it wants to do that first before it go down. And I told you guys before, a lot of times it does this on purpose. And you're in a, not saying like a major imbalance or anything. It's just an imbalance. So we know that it's going to give some sort of a little hiccup, right? A little jump. Now we jumped into this imbalance. And again, it's going to give you liquidity to the bottom, and it's going to kill it, right? But the problem is, people get anxious in this area only because they close the entire trade after they get a candle like this here or this here, and it starts to stop for a second. Don't close it yet. Just chill. You know what I mean? So when you're coming through dealing range, just watch. There you go. Oh, we're geniuses. All right, hold on. Let's see. Hold up. Chill for a second. Here we go. Let's see if we get where is it? We're calling it. So here, what do we think? The second one? Because we filled the first one. There's only one left. What do you think?
So are you like asking us because you have an answer already, or are like, because I'd be like, I'm waiting to see what we do here at this, this new partition. Do you actually have like this is what I think it's going to do? Or are you also just like, let me wait and see what it does for a minute?
Oh, I know exactly what it's doing. But that's what I'm asking you.
Right. Well, I just
Right, but you
wasn't
see
sure
some
if
of
you
these
were
things,
just
though.
trying to like get us to be like, okay, it could do this, it could do this, or if there is like a right answer, at least in your opinion.
Now, that's why like I just jumped up to that time frame like that, and watch. Obviously, how close we are to it is one thing, but when you're looking at this objective, you see how again it's going to cause it to retrace a little bit. But
Yeah,
ultimately, yes, I am expecting it to tap inbounds.
but not
Now,
necessarily fill it.
I don't care really if it fills it. I just needed to get down there to this yellow line. Now, the reason why I say that, watch this.
Well, I'm saying like if you're
You could,
holding runners, wouldn't you want to see if it's gonna fill it rather than just tap it?
what I'm saying is, I'm expecting it to tap. It can go and fill if it wants to. I'm not concerned about that. But what I'm concerned about is time here. So it's 10:33, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I was going to say is you can do this through dealing range. You can go and see, and there's the
Yeah,
answer,
that's what I was
right?
saying. Yeah, okay. Is like okay, like we know that's a target, but if you want to see if it's
hmm
gonna keep running, through that imbalance, then just kind of see what it does in this new dealing range.
No, not just that. We can look at a bunch of other things we're going to look at in a moment. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is the first thing I'm looking for is like I asked myself that question, where am I can expect this next? We had two objectives in a row. So far it was the first imbalance we saw on the hour, we saw two on the 4 hour and had to decide if even the first one was able to get traded to, and then also decide if this second one here that we're in now was an actual objective, right? Because we could have bounced here or not, right? So what I'm thinking about now is again time, 10:34 now, and I really love that the 12 to 12:15, 12:20 hour is how I like to leave my runners. Now, it is a day of distribution. Also, if it's not fucking with you, don't fuck with it so far.
Yeah.
So right now, in my mind, right, I like this high here. If you have a moment where you don't like to run back to the high, again, that's why like I talk, the more you try to practice holding your runners this way, these will scare you less, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go again. Obviously, we can predict that, right? Liquidity void, it's going to react. 3% retracement every 6%, it's going to do that. Now, outside of the small retracement, personally, you can decide if this is enough range for you or if you would like this lower. Because what is it going to do? It's going to annoy you for a little bit. It might
Yeah,
give
with
you another
the
rejection block. It might give you
41 to
another
59.
order block, right? And that's the funny part. I didn't even have to use any of the numbers here. I can come in. I'm just literally watching the time on the side. 10:35. I know what to expect. Now, a lot of people will come in and also still be focused on the minute. Same way that I just showed you this, right? Watch. Look at this candle. How much time left in this candle? There's 3 hours. Oh my God, bro. There's 3 hours left in this 4 hour candle, and it's huge. Yikes. It's a little big.
So doesn't that make you kind of think like that? I don't know. Like if this candle was gonna expand any further in the next 3.5 hours, it's gonna be fucking massive, right? Like that'd be like the
Now, I'm
biggest
glad you
four
said
hour
something.
candle of
So
all
it could
time.
be it could be a really, really nice long distribution, right? But like I said, you're going to be met with some retracement just from like lower partitions and the fact that it has to make more liquidity as well if it needs to go lower.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's going to be more than one objective. So that's why not just like we said, the filling of this imbalance is what I don't really give a fuck about right now. I give a fuck about that we made it there and what's next. So that's why I said, okay,
Yeah. Okay.
directly, it should give some sort of retracement, right? Now let's come down here again. It popped up into another dealing range, didn't it? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Now that's what I was going to say. We want to watch this. So
So
we
I'm
knew
looking
where
at
it was
those
making it
lows
to
though. Those lows are too clean, right? Like that's liquidity. That's not a bottom.
37.
Yeah, and I'm a bottom. Just
Let's
kidding.
see. Now here we go. So that does look like liquidity for could be short term. Now, look at the vibe here. Did we take anything? Is there any like short term liquidity outside of that imbalance, maybe? We took like some trend line liquidity, but it's nothing like major. Also, what is the fuck is this? So I feel like why should this survive for any reason?
That's that. Is that that mid? No, that's not. Never mind.
Now we could check that. Like midnight is right there.
Yeah, midnight's just above us.
So the reason why, for anybody who's new, I keep mentioning midnight is it's the start to the algorithm for the day. And I forgot the blunt was in my hand. Smoking two blunts at once, but one has different weed in it. I'm realizing that. I should have known that, but there we go. Trace it. You would have come in, basically decide if like where you're comfortable all the way. If you're saying, yo, I really don't give a fuck about the runner, it could go back to break even, fuck it. Okay. I've already made my money on my other two. You can feel that way. Other people might be more aggressive though, and might say, I don't want, I want to trail my stop up to a certain actual price that I want to make sure that I can obtain. Because again, it's going to give you some of these, right? It's not going to be annoying all the way.
Yeah, I just cut that
But-
last one there. Although it is
Okay.
now testing that mitigation block level at the mitigation block, but that's okay.
No, I totally feel you. I totally feel you. But that's how, again, it's about you being in control. You control the chart, not control you, right? It feels a lot better when you're like, you know what, I could do this or this.
Yeah.
And I can decide. Not the chart forcing you to do things. Do people feel like that a lot in your trading where you're like, yo, every time I
At
do
first,
this,
yeah.
Definitely not
do,
anymore,
like,
as much
something
anymore.
else.
But yeah, at first you definitely do because you see one thing and you're like, oh fuck, it's reversing on me or whatever.
It's a big one.
But as you learn shit, it gets easier to deal with.
There we go.
Dude,
That's
I
what
might
we
pass
talked
my
about.
I might pass my funded today, man.
Hell yeah.
Where you at? Where you at?
I'm like at let me see. 52.3. I was just at 53,
Ooh,
but it's
damn.
like it's cool.
I'm about to say,
we're
so
still so close. Like it's cool.
no, that's
I'm
great. That's great. You're in a spot to where, and like I said, we're protecting it, right? So I would say for you, how many contracts you have left?
I have one left. I have something like beyond break even to guarantee me like some chunk of change. I put like
Okay.
1,000 on my account already, or
Okay.
like 1,200. So
So this is good. So I would say like we're watching this imbalance so far here. And what I was going to say is between the high and low time frame, I always talk about the marketplace being fractal. So if it does
mhm.
want to go lower, and the whole conversation now is whether we're going lower or not, or what the next objective is. And I'm so glad that you guys caught wind of the macro objective, like the daily objective, which is turtle to sell side. Now, we talked about how to not freak the fuck out when prices coming down like this, right? We're like, yo, is it going to be here? Like a lot of people, I've seen it. They cut it here and be like, yo, that's the target, bro. And I'm like, oh, you could have held that a lot longer. And then we talk a lot about time. Right here is 9:30 in the fucking morning. And look at that.
I knew it was going to
Beautiful
do that.
expansion
God damn
back
it.
down. No, it's okay though. It's totally okay. But that's where like the more that you practice it like this, and again, we understand it's just a distribution day. So it's a
Yeah.
lot easier for us to talk on it and for a price to basically bend to our fucking will, right? So like we're coming at this imbalance now. Again, we're not done fully with the retracement concept. It's still going to be slightly annoying because it has to engineer fractal flout, which is again just new buyers, new sellers, right? Both directions. Now, my thing is, on the 1 minute here, we can see evidence of this candle being non-lethargic and attacking the lows. Watch this now. We need to come back up and reorganize ourselves. Let's figure this out. Now, I have nothing on just like my candles, right? But I really want to check out. Let me check. There's that candle again. Doji candle. And again, time plays the biggest role. So it was 10:42. It's almost at 11 o'clock. Is this the high of the day? Can we be sure of that?
I
We
mean, it
need to think about that.
looks like it, yeah, for now.
I would say for now, until it's not, because we have PM session coming up still.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer. It is until it's not. Perfect answer. And it's annoying only because what's funny is, again, we sold it because we're above all this liquidity, fair value gap, and we have a lot of these long terms up here that I like. But it's funny. Check this out. I want your opinion on this real quick. It was either 2187 or 6561 that had this yeah. Yeah. What did you guys think about this? Because 683, like 19683 is still a shared low. And for again, for anybody who is new to gold back levels or trading gold back levels, just from like a smaller PO3 or a smaller perspective, like this looks like PO3 liquidity like nobody's business. You know what I mean? Up here.
Yeah, we could also, if we, we're rejecting kind of the middle of that breaker level, could do algo 2 breaker, come back to the fair value, and then run.
We did talk about that in session. We did. I like that. Yeah, the fact that we stopped in that breaker level, we recognized that yesterday. That was interesting. Like the fact that the fair value gap is like I had a conversation with Ryan about this, but the fact that like algo 2 is yeah, rejection block, breaker, fair value gap, opposite order block. But the whole point of us looking at this uh fair value gap here, we knew that price had to come up here, regardless of why. We just knew that it wasn't filled yet, and we wanted to see it there, and we got that. But the whole problem was, if you look at the structure in general, and again, the PO3 is big as shit. These fair value gaps in the breaker levels, like mathematically, are different. It's like weird to explain it because someone else will look at it and be like, well, what the fuck do you mean? I mean, a fair value gap's a fair value gap. Like, if it makes an imbalance, it's likely just going to react the same way, higher or lower time frame. And people who just understand fair value gap, they think that it's just that. So when I come in and I look at their trade and I said, "Oh, you took a breaker fair value gap," and they're like, "No, I didn't." And I'm like, "Yeah, she did." But the whole
Yeah,
point is that like the numbers are there for a reason. 17 or 83 is fair value gap. Breaker is a whole nother structure. And where can you find that fucking fair value gap? It's smack dab in the middle of it literally says 41 parallel to this thing. It's not in a fair value level. It's not. And I'm talking about the 2187 because we're looking at this as a wireframe. I'll make myself clear. But the point, right, is when you're looking at this, I'm not saying the breaking fair value gap is bad at all. I think it's actually very cool. But when you look at like the breaker structure, watch this. I always draw it the same way. Like if it's a bullish breaker, it'll come up and have this old point here, right? But once it comes back to that old point, it just does that, you know? But when we have breakers, it causes it to focus, like the algorithm's focused here. But your little imbalance or whatever that people are focused on is this right here. I'll change color. It looks like this, essentially, like a version of this. And so this whole imbalance is what people are focused on when price goes, you know, boom, break your fair value gap. It's really touching the level here to then react and go upward. But everyone's like, no, dude, it's not a breaker. Yes, the fuck it is. Yes, it is. But again, mathematically, these are different structures. That's just like my little point. Whatever. Nice tangent, but point being, right? I'm glad that we all saw the daily objective. But the problem is, like I said, we are in a macro discount, and the 729 also has the same low. And did the 729 complete is what I want to know real quick. Let's see. Oh, oh shit. Yo, that's sick.
Yeah, that's what I was trading off of.
That's really cool. That's what I was gonna say. We got to be real careful because like um that's why between now and what 12 o'clock, I feel it's like we're safe. So look for reaction points between look between reaction points between now and 12 o'clock, yo.
Yeah, I passed my funding with this one.
Oh yeah, I just took sells again
Um,
from that high.
I'm 53.
Oh
I'm 53
man.
7. Dude, I'm 53 7 right
Bro,
now.
50, you at 53 7 something. Close that bitch at 53. Close that bitch.
I'm out.
Be
I'm
done.
out. I'm
Be
past,
done.
bro. I passed my shit. Let's go.
Yo, I'm
Yo,
laughing so hard, yo.
finally, bro. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm done for the day.
Now keep it.
Dude,
Don't do what I
Yeah, I'm
keep
keeping
fucking.
that.
Don't
No, I'm keeping that.
don't do what
Congratulations.
I keep
Thank you
fucking.
so
Congratulations.
much. Thank you so much, y'all. Oh my
Yeah, it's
goodness.
sick.
Oh, never thought that was gonna happen. Thank you, Jay. Everyone.
yo, I like cried for a second. Wow.
Dude, couldn't have done this without y'all, bro. Like, y'all are more than just like my classmates, bro. Y'all are my friends, man. And I appreciate y'all for real.
Yo, that was so funny to me.
That's super sweet. Great.
Love you, bro.
Yeah, I love you too, bro. Yo, that was fire. Great trade.
Dude, thank you, bro.
Amazing trade.
Oh my God.
And my point is when you trust the distribution, it does the work for you. And all you have to do
Yeah.
is pay attention to the time. And so 10:50, he said it out loud. He's like, wait, so if that's a 4 hour candle and there's 3 hours left, what the fuck? This should be a huge ass candle. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
Look at that thing. I think it's massive, dude.
Wow.
And again, everything we talked about, it made sense. We got the level, imbalance was hit. And so we got two good intermediate objectives. And again, it's funny that we're in the 729 coming down from the high. And this is a good fucking example of being intentional and not being confused. This can do anything it wants to do. And I know it's like stressful when you wake up and all we talked about was like, yo, the target is above us. And then you wake up and you're like, fuck, we're already there. So what do we do? You stay calm and you trade the next objective, you know? And look at this. Check this out. So we talk about the week, right? Let's see here. So we're looking at we don't need the imbalance, but we're looking for this right here. Okay. Do we think that the PM session can get taken, or is there's another smaller imbalance here that we talked on, but damn, doesn't look like it wants to stop either. There's 8 minutes left in this candle, this one, and we are how many ticks away? Let's see. Price range. Why the fuck did I move the tool? Okay, I'll use that one. That's fine. So Damn, we're only like 300 ticks away from the hour imbalance, or I mean to fill that rather, but even less to get there, under 200 ticks. And the way again the distribution is going to not stop. So yeah, I feel like this might be our next one, and it needs to retrace though. That's the problem. The retracement is going to come and fill up. It's going to make a obviously this is your imbalance here without it being done yet. Does that make sense? This is going to end up being an imbalance, right?
Yeah.
Has to be another candle here to complete it. Although we're on the hour chart, right? And so it's going to do a version of this, right? It's going to try and reference this in some way. It wants to reach down there for it now. It's not like really stopping. So whether it wants to like kind of get near it, play around, touch it, and then do whatever the fuck else, right? I'm interested to see like between now and like PM session, like how we can I want to study the time here, right? And so we got about it's 10:53, all right? Let's see. Notice I haven't used anything special or advanced at all. Just market structure. We reference the levels when we need them. I turn them off and turn them back on. Makes it so much simpler. And so we have, okay, so we understand the levels. We just need the time. So I'm going to turn these off. And look at that. So that's your mitigation block. The mitigation block is a beast on like really far targets, I've noticed. It's a monster. Like if it's going somewhere, I actually like we talk about the 41 through 59 chop, and it is there. Don't get me wrong, it's there. Like this is annoying if you're trying to hold something. But wait, Ryan, did you get back in? Oh shit.
Yeah, I I only got in one because I took it
Let's
on
go.
right after that 53 candle, and then it came back up, and I never pyramided in, so I got out
Oh no,
already.
that's
But
perfect though. No, that's fine.
only made a couple hundred
Yeah,
bucks. But yeah, I did.
that was sick.
It went
That was sick.
against me more than I wanted. Like because I was looking for that mitigation block, right, and we got that 50 with that strong run down, and then the
Yeah,
53 rejected
yeah.
EXT, and that next candle started expanding. So I took it there, and then it kind of went a little far against me. So I was like,
That's only because of I would say the nine. Has
yeah,
to be like the
yeah,
nine.
yeah. It
Has to
came
be.
back up to just kind of fill that imbalance there, but it was just like, all right, I'm gonna. Which like I even knew I was like, it's gonna doji here and make a giant fucking down candle, and I still just didn't pyramid, but that's all right.
No, I feel that. And especially because like when you're that's why I say like when you're learning, it's a lot different than um like other things, you know what I mean? Like certain days will offer you like a certain objective and I'm telling you, time plays the biggest role.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I know that was going to be there at a certain time? Why did I write 65 there?
The CE number
And what does that do?
rebalances and takes liquidity.
Look at that fucking candle. Watch this. Look at where we are now. Told you. That was our next DOL, right? Now, mind you,
Amazing.
what did I say about the retracing and shit? It'll do it, but only in specific ways. See what I mean? And look at how like, specifically though, look at how strong the rejection of that was and the size of this compared to that candle. Like, this is a good 50% retracement of the previous candle. It's not like this or these or that. This is a really bullish candle. That's why people have to understand, like, when you meet something on impact, try to close it on impact because it'll annoy you just like that. This is I call this the screenshot candle. You know why? people try to take screenshots and lose money.
Because they get that big down candle.
Uh-huh. People try to take screenshots. And that's when you panic and shit, trying to send a picture to your friend and it starts reversing and shit. And you throw the phone, oh shit, what the fuck? And you panic and shit. You're like, oh man, fuck. All I wanted to do is take a picture and post it on my. I know, bro, but can you take profits first before you do that?
Yeah,
Show
I
people that
started
you
just
made it there.
setting limit orders for getting out because a lot of times it'll just slam it and wake back up and then either reverse or
Mm-hmm. Now we talked though. What is this down here? We are quite close to the fucking previous day low, aren't we? Yikes. So not no, PM low, my bad. PM low.
Yeah.
This is kind of far. I'm thinking that like we have about another hour, but it needs to now watch. It needs to retrace though. Once this is there has to be because we're on the hour chart. Yeah. So it might be I don't think it's this one. I'm just going to point it out for reference. I don't think it's this one. I think it's going to make a lower one that it wants to fuck with, but it needs to be some imbalance that it needs to fill. Because this is ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
Price is not like this.
if you look at just XAMD on Q4, it was I guess it was AMDX, but the manipulation was just super strong down, so probably Monday high there.
We took out all Q1s of the day. Yes. All Q1s are taken out completely. So this was another thing. We didn't even talk about that one. That's another common one we use for targeting that we really like. But yeah, I'll just use like a complete horizontal line. So here, this one was a Asia Q1, and we smacked it. Look at that. Damn, that was sick. So hold on, let me clean up the screen actually. There we go. Boom. Yeah, that's pretty strong. We made it to this imbalance down here, and there's a liquidity pool resting right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we touch it, man. I wouldn't be surprised. But my thing is, this is why like I try to like when you take an entry, I do try to get one, and I do try to like sneak another one in there. Like you know what I mean? I try my best to really sneak that other that next one to keep that runner. Just because I know also like it's just a expansion day. So that's what opens me up more to more contracts or just being more lenient towards types of price action as we're just on the way to something. So yeah, I'm glad. Hopefully some other people in the chat caught that too, because I'm on the side looking at the iPad right now. I got one more running too. I'm not going to hold it for too much longer. I mean, this is plenty. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, this is plenty. ICT will tell you 30, what does he say? 30 pips.
Yeah, 50 pips a week or whatever.
Yeah, like, he would have probably told us to get out of the trade way earlier. No, don't. I don't require this to be profitable.
Low-hanging fruit.
We need all that. We need all this. We need all of this. We need all of that.
I mean, but we do that too. Just take the low-hanging fruit and pay yourself, and then let it.
Oh, yeah.
If it wants to keep running, let it run.
Let it run. And that's the thing. It's just like we talk about making yourself available all the way. And that's how, like, in my opinion, that's one of the cleaner ways to compound accounts. Because if you're, we also talk a lot about how many attempts sometimes it takes us to get into an idea. And sometimes it might be a little more than we anticipate. But that's where, like, every attempt, you know, if I have one and it goes my way, if it's in profit, I'm paying myself something. I'm leaving there with something on that attempt. Even if my runner goes back to break even, the first partial is going to give me that $100, that $200 or whatever, even if my DOL is 1,200 or 1,500. But the biggest thing now is, again, it's 11:02. So, it needs to go for Well, here now the imbalance is made, right? There we go. That's a new imbalance officially, right? So after this third one closes, it'll be however big. But for a PM session, this is what it's gonna. It's starting to set up now for a PM session essentially. So yeah, smart money is gonna start unloading their cells. So where are we at now? 20,220. That was a CE right there on price. So that's why you have a reversal right there. 15. Oh shit. Great day so far. No mistakes.
20,220. You said
Yeah.
was a CE.
21 I was looking for.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Multiple of 7.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Mm-hmm. How are you guys feeling? Good.
Good, yeah.
Good, man. Good.
Me too. I feel better. Like this cough I have it's just pretty much just me coughing. I feel fine now. I don't really feel sick at all. I feel fine. But
Did any of y'all ever get COVID?
Yeah.
yeah. Really?
Which one would you say was worse, the cold or COVID? Because I got COVID like 3 times, bro.
Yeah, I got it a few times. The first time I had it was definitely the worst. The second time, I just had like a sore throat, but like, I would have much rather had COVID than the fucking flu.
Really?
Yeah, the flu.
Yeah.
Dude, the
Flu is
flu
way
is
worse.
horrible, dude.
Yeah, I
The
had
flu made my
I had the
like back
flu like a
hurt.
few weeks before I got
Yeah, bro.
COVID.
I got pneumonia one time. I like had the flu, and my buddy's dog died, and he really like wanted me to come help him bury his dog, and it was like mid January, cold as fuck here, and I got pneumonia from that, and that was like I thought I was gonna die, bro. I'd much rather have COVID. Yeah.
Sick a lot, and I'm just like her. So like, I don't get sick a lot, but when I do, it just be so intense. It just be like, oh, what the fuck? It could be a
Me too,
cold.
bro.
Yeah, that's how
Like,
I am
damn.
too. It's not very often, but
It's like
like if I get
it's
sick, I'm fucking worthless.
fucked up. Yeah, dude, you're like death's door, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh, now look at that. I'm looking for like smaller imbalances inside of the like this price action here. Let's see, we got like a minute or two left of this session, so let's see. I think this is fun. Like disappear. This one's already filled, so that made sense. It's dope, man. And again, I would call this high of the day. If PM session does a crazy reversal, I don't believe it should, but I think that today at least, this is just sell side, creating more opportunities for that 729 later and then 2187 and beyond to go higher. Um,
Yeah, we're
that's
so
interesting.
far from that high.
It's crazy. How many pips or how many ticks?
Dude, that's honestly fucking ridiculous.